we are back with another D&D movie time. And today I'm actually very excited for this one because this is one of those rare moments where it is something I've seen before, but it's been so long, I don't remember a thing about it.
How long has it been? 50, 100 billion.
I wish I was an immortal and could live that long. But anyways, recently, well, I mean not too recently, I guess, but me and Cora, I'm getting Cora into Magic the Gathering. And one of their sets from last year was a set called Bloomborough. And I was paying a little attention to it, but as we've been getting back into Magic, I've been looking at a lot of the cards and stuff, and it's just screaming at me, Secret of NIMH. And that's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to do this whole Fantasy February thing. Plus, since we already watched all the Hobbit movies, they did a Hobbit series in Magic the Gathering last year also. But yeah, this is one I have seen a long time ago. I remember bits and pieces of it, but other than that, I don't remember a thing about this movie. Except when I saw the Bloomborough cards for Magic the Gathering, that I knew that it must have been inspired by the Secret of NIMH. So I know it involves a mom trying to save her son who's dying of like some disease. And she goes on a quest. And that's all I know. So, have you ever seen this at all, Cora?
No.
So, alright. Well, then, without further ado, because like I said, I'm excited to watch this and see how it lives up after all these years, coming back to it. We'll be back as soon as we're done watching The Secret of NIMH.
Bye.
Aurora and Don Bluth Productions present a classic adventure in motion picture entertainment. I must tell you about NIMH. Look there. It's a fantasy with wizards and villains. And heroes.
I ain't scared of nothing. I'm not even afraid of the Great Owl. Will you hush up? Come on.
It's an odyssey to another world. A world of fantasy and enchantment.
To what you see and hear, you must swear absolute secrecy. It's the most beautiful sight I've ever seen.
Do you like me?
Of course I like you.
It's a story of friendship.
I mean, you don't think I'm clumsy or anything. What? I just need a few pointers to polish my style. I told you you'd love flying.
I don't know how I let you talk me into this.
It's a classic story of courage.
Why have you come?
And a world of danger.
If I had actually been near a cat, I'd be sneezing my brains out. I'm allergic to hay. Excuse me, pardon me.
Get out! Run for your lives! Run!
Where courage is rewarded.
Oh, thank you.
A motion picture for everyone to share.
Oh, the poor turkey fell down.
I'm not a turkey.
Big
No,
buzzard,
stop,
where's our
get
mother?
down with
We better kill her.
Discover the secret of NIMH. And rediscover the child in us all.
Alright, so we just finished The Secret of NIMH. Cora, tell the viewers what this movie was about.
Basically, like my dad said, a mother was trying to get some medicine for her child. So then, and basically on the way, she meets this crow which is basically annoying and stuff. But then later, because that part is really, except for the part where you get to meet the crow, there's nothing really important in that besides meeting the other main villain character, the cat, which chases birds and mice. And so basically, then she has to visit this great owl.
But why?
Because it's moving day?
Yeah, see, they live on a farm, and where her house is, it gets destroyed every year when the farmer plows the field. So they need to temporarily move while he plows his field. And then they come back, and I guess they put their house back together. And she can't move her son because her son is sick. And the weather outside would be harmful to him. So he has to stay put inside, which means they can't move him. So that's why she's trying to find out what can she do. Sit up.
Okay.
So then what happens when they see the owl?
The owl basically tells him to go see the rats. I mean, I just saw mouse and mice and rats were basically the same thing. Apparently not.
Well, they're mice and rats are both in the rodent family, but it's like different species, like a cat and a lion is a different species, but they're the same family of cats. Felines.
Okay, but still, basically, basically the idea of the owl wants the rats to do is move the house. So then, but then basically there are a couple of evil rats that want to stay just so the kind can get eliminated.
No, they don't want to stay because they are going to get eliminated. They want to stay where they've already built a life. They don't know that the farmer is allowing these people to come and exterminate the rats. And what's so special about the rats?
They're smart and intelligent.
Because they were science-tested animals. That's what they were doing in that lab. They were testing on mice and rats. And they got smarter through the testing to where they could build things. Kind of like Ratatouille. But anyways, so what does the leader of the rats do? The bad one.
The bad one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, he wants to kill the elder rat, which he successfully does. Of course, the mother rat's home with 4 kids in it. The house is sinking in mud.
What?
Nothing.
The mud's seeping into the house. The house is sinking into the, I guess you could call it a swamp.
Then basically, earlier in the movie, the elder gave the
Mother.
mother a stone of some kind.
A necklace.
A necklace, but the necklace has a stone of some kind.
Which has some magical powers.
And then somehow
Some random magical powers.
And then she gets magical powers and saves her kids. It's in her house. And then happily ever after.
Yep.
Yet the Crow had nothing to do in the movie. It's just like a side character.
Yeah. But that's actually the actor who plays him. He was also in another Don Bluth movie, American Tail.
He was also in Stargate.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm talking about Don Bluth properties. I think him and Don Bluth were friends, because I think a bunch of his movies actually had Dom DeLuise in it. But alright, that was The Secret of NIMH. When we come back, we are going to give our final thoughts and scores. See you in a minute.
Bye.
In the glow of the lights, the story ignites with echoes of carols that dance in the night. A journey in sight, adventure takes flight. So brace for the magic, we're ready to fight. Hear the bells chime, feel the beat start to climb. Let the music play, we're rising today. With a rhythm of joy that will carry us away. In the heart of the night, we'll shine bright and bold as the story unfolds with the spirit of gold. Through frost and the snow, our courage will grow. With each thrilling note, let the excitement flow. Together we'll stand, hand in hand, high and low. This chapter is ours, it's time to let go. Gather the light, we're taking the stage. Let the music play, we're rising today. With a rhythm of joy that will carry us away. In the heart of the night, we'll shine bright and bold as the story unfolds with the spirit of gold. So here we embark on this wondrous road, with notes of the past fueling our glow.
Alright, Cora, starting with you. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give The Secret of NIMH?
8 out of 10. There's only one thing I didn't get.
What's that?
I know that the scientists and stuff like injected this smart thing in the rats, but and the rats are smart, that they manage to steal electricity. But I also get that this is a fantasy movie. But here's something I don't get. How does the stone hold power? Because, I mean, I get it. We're watching this during Fantasy February. But they had multiple chances to flow fantasy plots, and it shows at the end. And so, like normal fantasy movies, well, it just slaps the entire fantasy, a big book of fantasy stuff in the movie. This one was you only ripped like a small page and added at the end. That's kind of confusing.
Yeah, the fantasy plots sort of did come right out of nowhere and smack you in the face for a quick second. And then it just left as quick as it came. But yeah, for the most part, it seems very science fiction, more like science fiction than fantasy, with the rats being experimented on and sort of becoming very smart. And for some reason, I think they tried to say, like, he did what was done to him, he did to her, or something. Like, that's how she got smart. Because there was also something about, like, oh, if your husband didn't do this to you, then you would have died long time ago, and you actually are different because your husband changed you too. At least I think I have to probably watch it again. Maybe we will at some point, but who was your favorite character in the movie?
Crow.
Even though you just said earlier he was annoying? That's weird. Okay. Did you have a least favorite character?
I know the hour doesn't really get brought up in a few seconds. Like, he gets brought up for the beginning of the movie once or twice after the visit. But I didn't really like the owl. I get owls are creepy, but
How are owls creepy?
I mean, they can literally just like twist their neck 90 degrees and still live.
That's because they have special kinds of body structures and heads.
Exactly.
That lets them turn all the way around.
If a 5 or 3-year-old saw an owl and literally just twisted a head 90 degrees, I'm pretty sure a kid would be freaked
I think
out.
you mean 160 degrees. Because you can, even a human can turn their head 90 degrees.
Oh. Well, so, they can...
90 degrees is only 1/4 of a circle. To go a full circle, it would be 360 degrees. So half of that would be 180. Do the math in your head. Anyways, anything else you want to say? Did you have a favorite scene?
Neat.
How about when she achieved goddesshood?
Yeah, that's the part I don't get. I liked it, but it's also confusing.
What did you think? Here, let me ask you this. What did you think of the animation? Because Don Bluth, the guy who made this movie, he has a certain animation style. And everyone says that he was one of the best animators ever. What did you think of his animation style? Like the look of the creatures, the look of the scenes.
Well, I'll say that it did look like real. Like, if he really wants to push it, he can literally try his best to actually animate 3D. But yes, it is good that he has a great animating style, but
Does it hold up after 30 years?
yeah, but still, anyone can have their own animating style.
Yeah. I say 30 years, but it's probably a little less than that. But alright, we're going to go ahead and move on now to my score. On a scale of 1 to 10, I gotta be in complete agreement with Cora here. It was more understandable as an adult. I don't think as a child I really grasped a lot of what was going on in the movie. Because I was like, maybe, like I said, 5 or 6 at the time. So Cora's actually a little bit older than I was when I first saw it. And around the time I probably would have watched it a couple times. But after I turned 5 or 6, I kind of... other movies came out and I ended up forgetting about it, you know. I saw a lot of Disney fantasy movies and I just really never went back to The Secret of NIMH. I knew enough about it to know some of the basics, but I don't really recall much, and so getting a fresh perspective after all these years was kind of nice. I thought it was a bit more fantasy based, like I said when I was talking about it with Cora. I thought it was a bit more fantasy based than what we got. And I mean, it would be really nice to see this be remade with maybe some modern animation that is trying to live up to what Don Bluth started. I know they want to do a Dragon Lair movie. Corey used to love watching people play Dragon's Lair. That's the one with the knight, and he keeps getting killed and his body turns to a skeleton and crumbles. I used to show you videos of all his death scenes and you would laugh and laugh and laugh.
Show me after this.
You already seen it.
Show me after this.
Anyways, but yeah, I mean, this is definitely a solid 8 out of 10 for parents and kids. It's nothing like outlandish. I mean, I know some parents out there are way overprotective and won't let any of the age kid see even like any death. So, I mean, unless you're like that, then you probably don't want your kids to see this because a mouse or a rat does die. But I still think if I had to choose, I'd have to say American Tail was the better movie. But it was still done by Don Bluth. Not saying this is bad in any way, just I do remember watching American Tail a whole lot more. And then when American Tail 5 Goes West came out, that sort of became my favorite of the franchise. So I didn't even bother with anything after that. Plus I think they got different animators and stuff after that. So, but yeah, this is still a pretty good movie, and I wouldn't mind watching it again from time to time. It's not like it's the first thing I'm going to rush to put on. But if we're having a moment where we, like maybe if Magic the Gathering releases another Blueburrow set, or a set like Blueburrow, I wouldn't mind checking it out once again. I would love to see something that is in line with, like, I've heard of a series called Redwall. So I'd like to see a new anime or animation series that is for kids and adults that has like all kinds of different... Basically, I want to see Blueburrow. I want to see a series based off Blueburrow from Magic the Gathering. I think that would be a killer animation series. But yeah, so, alright, that's going to go ahead and wrap up this one. And for our last one of the month, this one is going to be tricky because it is fantasy based, but it is also science fiction based. It is a marriage of the two. and kind of a prequel, or not really a prequel, but like a little taste test for Cora for what we're going to be watching in May. Kind of something to whet her imagination palette, get her ready for what's coming in May. So, alright, that is going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. We hope you enjoyed this. If you remember this more, let us know what your thoughts are on this movie. And if you want to show us some real love this holiday season, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And we will see you all in the next one.